Should we get into some nerdy news though, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, we should. Quite a bit this
I'm going to
week.
start off with something I've forgotten off the list.
Oh,
Seth Rogen
oh,
is apparently working very closely with Sony to develop an R-rated Venom show, an animated one.
Interesting.
And okay, so I have two feelings about this, and they are completely conflicting ones.
Uh-huh.
On the one hand, I'm like, Seth Rogen is a comedy writer. I know that's not
Mhm.
what y'all is, but this is my negative side. He's a comedy writer. Venom, while he does have some light-hearted moments, has been treated a little bit like a joke in more recent memory.
Yeah.
So this might be a bad thing. But on the flip side, I'm like, Seth Rogen is heavily involved with Invincible, The Boys, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, other things as well of similar ilk. The
Yeah.
guy knows what he's doing. Do we just let him cook?
If he can get like a similar vibe that Invincible has, where like it has these serious, pretty hard hitting moments, but there's still some humor there a lot of the time. He could come up with something pretty good here. Interesting though that Sony's. I feel like is this a sign that they are done trying to do live action Spider-Verse? Do we think this is they've taken enough bad hits that they're like, okay, our live action Spider-Verse isn't hitting, but we don't want to lose the rights. We know animation is hitting at the moment. Spider-Verse did really well. Maybe we need to transition and use these characters in animation.
I've got a feeling that it wasn't Sony's idea at all, and rather a writer has spoken to Seth. Seth's gone, yeah, I will work on this with you. And the writer's taking it to Sony, going, this is what I've got. Seth's already in. What do you think? I feel like that's how more of these shows get made than not at this point.
Probably.
I feel like that's also how the good shows get made.
I think you're right there.
A little tiny tidbit of gaming news, just because I wanted to hit this while the iron was still hot.
Yep.
We will go into it in much more detail in a couple of weeks when Josh is back.
Yes, I'm sure we will.
Marvel Rivals has been announced.
Yeah, the Marvel Overwatch game.
Yeah. So Overwatch is an interesting one to me, because when it first came out, the first one, I wasn't interested in that kind of game, so I didn't play it. And it was also like a full price game at the time.
Yep.
Then by the time I was like, I'd be interested in playing this, it had already been out for so long and had such a toxic community that I was like, I am not going to learn to play this game while being called slurs the entire time.
No.
So I just never played it. Then Overwatch 2 came out, which opened up an opportunity to try it, because everyone had to be reset a little bit to try and learn. But it came out to just everyone going, this is worse than Overwatch. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to give it a miss. So what have these bastards done? They've gone and made Overwatch, a game that I always felt like I missed out on a little bit. And they've gone, what if we made it superheroes, Connor? Bastards.
It's funny because it's like, I played Overwatch when it first came out. And like, I played it a lot. Like, I grinded that game. And I would say early Overwatch was fun. Back when it was like 6v6, before they changed it to 5v5, and like before a lot of the new characters came out, and then balancing got messy, and then obviously ranked got messy, and it slowly, like, all those games became a like it struggled with its own growth because of balancing issues, and then you got to keep content constantly coming, which then adds more. It just became like this cycle, and obviously people stop playing, community gets worse because it gets smaller, and like all those games, if you've been playing for ages, you get all the sweaty people that are really good. It kind of just went downhill. This is interesting because from my point of view, it like 100% is Overwatch. From what we've seen of the gameplay, like it is Overwatch, just like Valorant art style, ish with Marvel characters. Potentially could be very good. I said it in like when we first saw it get announced and our early comments to each other. My prediction is this game could be a lot of fun, but it will live and die with its balancing and its content rollout.
For sure.
Because we know from what they've showed and screenshots, there's a battle pass. It's going to be a live service game. If they don't roll, and we know those games, if they don't roll out content, they die off. They get boring because it's the gameplay loop's too small and too repetitive. Also, if they start pumping out, adding in new heroes and superheroes and stuff, balancing could become an issue, and that messes with your enjoyment of playing it.
This
Has
is
potential.
exactly where I sit on it. Everyone who plays this game will have heard of Marvel heroes. Even if they're not massive Marvel fans inherently, you're going to get some people who are just like, oh, this looks like a fun game to play, I'll give it a go. But a lot of the people who play are going to be Marvel fans, which is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have their favourite heroes.
Mm-hmm.
If their hero is underpowered, they're going to bitch and cry and whine. If their favourite hero isn't in the game, they're going to bitch and cry. I want to, like you saw me, the second I saw this game was coming in the Discord, I was like, I'm already getting too excited for this game. I think this could be like a lot of fun. Like everything I do online is sit here and talk with you about superhero stuff, and then I play first-person shooters and occasionally a story game. Most notably, superhero story games.
Yeah,
like they are my two biggest nerdoms. So this game should be perfect for me. But I do just worry that I'm going to sat here going, oh, I wish they added this character, this character, this character, and then they either don't add them for ages and I just feel like I'm missing out, or they do add them and they're either really overpowered, which means like they're in every single game and I like don't get to play them and it's ruining the fun, or they're so shit that even though I really want to use them because it'd be awesome, I just feel like I can't have fun because I'm getting dunked on. If they can nail the balancing, which is basically impossible, they've got money on their hands. Because the skins that you can make for Marvel characters are unlimited. The amount of maps and locations and characters you can add is basically unlimited.
There's a lot of content potential with this. And like you say,
no game before launch has had this much content potential.
It really is going to be balancing, and like obviously I'm sure we'll like you say, we'll talk more in depth maybe in a couple of weeks. Maybe there'll be more information out. But like from my experience of Overwatch and knowing that like the issue it has with balancing is there is like a very set meta, and it's like because of the nature of the game being a 5v5 and you're pushing an objective or something like that, it becomes these same core characters that just everybody plays, which can make it feel a bit stale. Or you're going to get like an issue with that where you have the enemy team picks a certain character, and if it allows swapping characters mid-game, this works fine if they're like literally copy Overwatch. But it's like, I don't know, for Overwatch you have Pharah and everyone's like, oh my god, we need someone to counter Pharah, someone swapped a soldier or something. You're going to get this situation of like, oh, they've got Spider-Man, can someone switch to Captain America, please? And then, you're going to get players that are just like, I don't want to switch off the character I'm playing. I'm playing Iron Man. I'm not swapping. And then it's going to get this horrible vibe with the game. I get
that. Do you think this game would have a ranked scene
though? In my opinion, any game like this, whether it's Marvel or not, like anything that is a team-based game, you need a ranked mode. Because
I don't disagree.
But
as a general rule, a ranked scene leads to an esports scene. Does Marvel, knowing what esports players are like on Twitter, does Marvel want any kind of esports scene attached to them?
Do
you see what I'm thinking?
Yeah, but here's the thing. There is potential there. If they do ranked mode, it can be like, oh, I'm Infinity Stone rank. I am Agent Shield. Like they can have creative like fun with the
So
ranks.
what I'm hearing is Cutscene Esports has found its first game.
And, like, here's my thing. The mistake Overwatch made was it launched, and within a month they launched their esports. They didn't let it grow naturally, and they launched it like a year after. They were like, "We are now franchised," and that was the death of Overwatch because they franchised on a game that was like 2 years old or a year old. Marvel could, if they're smart about it, and this game is fun and everyone's enjoying it, add in a ranks mode pretty early. That'll then build like people being like, "I'm the number one Iron Man in the world,"
That'd
which
be a
is
fucking bar.
yeah, like I'm the best Spider-Man player. Like people
Best
will
Spider-Man
like
main
that
in
will
EU.
drive the player base, and that's why I think rank's good for it because of the style of game that it'll be. Don't fuck around with like esports. Just like let creators run or like teams like let it naturally grow, which is what a lot of games make the mistake nowadays. Is they try to force esport because they think that's how to make their game stick, and then those esports die
I
within
just
like a year.
can't wait to play as Batman. I'm so excited.
You don't get
Oops, I
prep
just outed
time though.
myself. All I'm saying is a Gambit as a playable character throwing cards would be so much fun. Throwing explosive cards at people would like all of the X-Men are perfect for this.
Like from what they've shown, the characters that they've picked, like there was the one we're talking so much about this, but oh well.
Yeah.
There's like obviously one of the main clips they show of Spider-Man is him webbing up people, which is obviously going to be some sort of stun ability.
Yeah.
So one of the comments was like, "No way have they shown Spider-Man and he's not even swinging around." But there is actually a split moment later on in the trail, like the teaser, where you can see you can swing from webs. Like that's going to be his movement tech, and it's like when you start thinking like that, Iron Man, you could have some fun with either they have just base level Iron Man or like, oh, now we have Hulkbuster Iron Man as a separate character, or one of his abilities lets him like switch. There's so many different things they can do.
Even that, you could do a Hulkbuster skin for Hulk, and out of the
Yeah.
Hulkbuster armor just pops Tony instead
Yeah.
of Bruce
Oh
Banner.
yeah, that's
Like,
true. You could just have
so
a
many
Hulkbuster skin.
options.
Yeah.
But like it's like infinite options. And because this is set in a multiversal kind of scenario, you can also have fun with like the Infinity Warp characters, which was like Arachnite and stuff like that. There's just it's unlimited potential, which means it can only fall flat on its face.
Yeah. I will say from all the Marvel games that are like team-based heroes, even with DC ones, everyone's this is kind of what people have wanted. My worry is this style of game too late?
Yeah, I never thought they'd make a shooter. That's crazy.
I do worry if this is too late.
How am I going to be allowed to kill someone as Spider-Man?
You're not going to either, are you? It's not going to be killing.
It'll be an elimination or something.
Yeah, it'll be eliminated, and because it's like some multiverse thing, they'll pass it off as like, I don't know, you're kicking them back to their realm.
But yeah, it looks very, very cool.
Yes,
one thing I will say is apparently Doctor Strange is a tank, and that's weird. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. I don't understand that one really. But he seems to set up portals which look cool, so
I can't wait for all the boys to get on that, even if it's just once, just for the chaos. More Marvel news. Florence Pugh has released the first footage on set at Thunderbolts. I like this clip. I'm about to go on a bit of a rant. This is not anti-Florence Pugh. This is not anti-anything. It's just more pointing out a shift.
Okay.
Once upon a time, Marvel stars would have their phone taken off of them. They weren't even allowed to take pictures on set in case anything got hacked on their phone and they lost the photos. Now we've got Florence Pugh walking around, videoing herself in costume, walking onto set. I don't have issue. It's just wild how times have changed.
Wait, you believe this is her phone?
Oh, but you know what I mean? Like even if
No,
it's just like
this
part of the marketing and
I'm
stuff,
sorry.
it's just
Like
crazy.
this is 100% a Marvel-owned phone and a marketing video done in a style. They've said, film this like you're filming an Instagram story. We're gonna do this as a little bit of marketing for Thunderbolts. Obviously,
It's just
all she shows is
yeah.
her suit and her coming out of her cabin trailer. Not gonna let not gonna let us show anything. It's clearly all set up marketing, but they know Marvel. This is sort of going off what you're saying is Marvel is shifting. They understand now how people consume marketing, consume media. People watch TikToks and watch this, and like they prefer content that feels real, whether it is or not. So you're trying to emulate that. So yeah, give her a company phone, get it to record something like it's for Instagram, sorry, and then we'll control the release of it. So it feels like a celebrity showing something they shouldn't, but then it's like, okay, no, this is quite clever marketing, but it's clever. Don't get me wrong, it's very clever from them.
I just never thought I'd see the day, bearing in mind for how long we had the memes of like Kevin with like the sniper anytime anyone stepped out of line, to just actively letting someone film on set is just crazy. I know we didn't see anything other than the suit. Like I know we haven't actually had any, but just like
Do you know what?
Conceptually, the change is just such a big change.
Do you know what the next step of this is? Some random Twitter account tweeting leaked photos, and then it's like the Marvel Twitter account reposting. It's like, we're gonna have to find who released these, and it becoming this like completely on the nose, like this is purposeful leaks, but we're just gonna frame it as if it's like an actual.
Well, that's what everyone thought Tom Holland was doing for years, wasn't it? That he was actually being told to leak stuff. And I think by the end he was. At the beginning, it was a genuine mistake, and they just pounced on that opportunity.
And I think this is them playing off of that now. They now realize everyone's waiting for the leak or the little bit of teaser. So why don't we just control that? But frame it as if it's still the leaks and whatnot.
Sure. I'm going to moan about more stuff now.
Okay.
It's quite a moany news. I do apologise.
We had a good start.
New Disney Plus logo.
Well,
it's dog shit.
Okay.
It's horrible.
The new Disney Plus logo hasn't really changed. They've just changed the color.
They've also changed the gradient on the
the
arch. It used to like blend over, so it was like the actual arch, and now it's just solid white. It's horrific. I don't like it. It was unnecessary.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they've decided to.
Do you know what I think it is? And it kind of links into our next bit. Disney Plus and Hulu have merged.
Well, yeah.
Is this lighter bluey greeny colour the merge of the Disney Plus blue we had before and the Hulu colour? Is that what it is? It doesn't make it acceptable, but that's the only thing that would at least make sense.
That would be interesting to see if that does. What was Hulu's gradient? Was it just because it wasn't green because the logo was green?
Yeah, no, that's the green I'm talking about. The logo green.
Oh, it was just. It was like they had like a gradient that was a bit bluey, mainly green. I'm looking at like different Hulu logos and gradients, and there's one that has like a very similar greeny blue, more their green into blue. It's definitely to do with the merge. Like they've rebranded the colors to.
Cool. That might actually piss me off more.
Yeah, it's just companies do this all the time. They rebrand, and it's like 90% of the time it's unnecessary. Some do it more than others.
Do you know what it is? I like pastel colors and these light fun colors, and it is a nice color. I don't actually hate the color, but I don't want corporations to use them. and maybe it's just a moment of my insanity. I'm not going to pretend I'm above having moments of insanity, but I don't want corporations to feel like they're allowed to be quirky and human and, oh, here's this color. You're a corporation. Leave the fun colors for people. You have your boring blues and blacks and reds and greens and purples. Now,
Yeah.
anytime you see this color anywhere, it's going to be like, oh, that's the Disney Plus color. It's like, no, fuck off. Whereas before, it was just a generic dark blue. Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at it more. And it's
I
like...
don't dislike the color. I just don't think they should be allowed to use it.
it is 100% because of the merger. And it's like, when you look at it close up, the top, like, right corner is still the Disney Plus dark blue. And the bottom's the light. It's literally just they've blended their two gradients.
And they haven't updated the website or the app. So the app icon...
Rushed.
I don't know if my camera...
I'm telling you now, it's because it's been rushed.
Let me see. So, like...
that stuff will come in time. It's just they've pushed the logo because it's the easiest thing.
You can see it at the top there.
Yeah.
So they've updated the logo there, but in the app, it's still all of the original colorings. It's still the dark color. So they've not done it properly, which is even more infuriating. It's a stupid thing to get angry about, but it's a nerd podcast. We get angry about stupid things.
It's just a marketing thing.
It's unnecessary.
It's to go with the merger.
Yeah. So the Disney Plus Hulu merger that was announced ages ago has finally finalized and gone live. So all the Hulu stuff's on Disney Plus. Nothing changes for us, I believe, Hori, because in the UK the entire time Hulu stuff has come via Disney Plus anyway.
Yeah, and we didn't have access to Hulu, so
yeah. So nothing's changed for us. It's just they've uniformed everything across the world.
Which, as much as like, yes, Disney's like we don't want these big corporations to get bigger. For our convenience, this is a nice.
Well, I mean, Disney already owned like half of Hulu anyway, so it's not like they actually have any more power now. It's just more convenient.
It's more convenient means we definitely don't miss anything that might go on Hulu.
Spider-Man 4 is due to start filming in September or October.
Do we think they have decided on a script yet?
I think, based on the most recent rumours, I think it is going to be the script is closer to what Tom and Kevin wanted, and they're going to hit the release date that Sony wanted instead.
Okay.
Which is why they're starting filming so early.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Right.
And then Justin Lin is leading the list of people who are expected to be directing, which was reported by the In Schneider, which is a journalist who became an independent guy. So it's like inside of it. His last name's Schneider. He's very good at what he does. And they've also reported that Zendaya is set to return as MJ.
Okay.
I am not going to badmouth Justin Lin, despite my feelings about Fast and Furious being very well known. I don't know which of the Fast films he directed, so I'm just going to double check that.
Yeah,
Movies. He did Fast 5, which is a good film. He did Fast and Furious. Which one was that? That wasn't the first one.
No, that was the fourth one.
4.
Yeah.
He did 6. He did Tokyo Drift. But then he's also done 9 and X. To be fair, 9 and X are essentially superhero films, so he's got the credibility.
To be fair to him, I would say he did Tokyo Drift, and then he kind of got locked into the Fast franchise. And I mean, I feel like the Fast franchise became not so much he had control. I could be wrong, but I feel from how it's gone, I feel like certain board members and figureheads have pushed it in a certain direction, and he's just stayed director because then the style feels the same throughout the franchise.
What I will say is, despite my feelings towards the Fast and Furious franchise, I have never had any problem with how the films look.
No, and how the film's been filmed and put together. Like, they've always done a good job there.
Has only ever been the story, and that's not even for all of them. I love the story up until Fast 5, maybe even Fast 6. It's Fast after that they start to lose me.
Yeah.
But Tokyo Drift, Fast 5. They're good looking films. The action's tight. He
I
can
look
do a good
forward
job, I'm
to
sure.
Peter Parker going to a midnight car meet up in a multi-story garage.
Imagine.
When Vin Diesel just pulls up.
I wouldn't. I mean, if they try shoehorn in the Fast universe, I might actually be done.
Part of the MCU officially.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that leads. I haven't heard any of the other names on this supposed shortlist for directors, and I would be curious to know who else is apparently on the list.
Yeah, that could be quite interesting.
X-Men 97.
Yes, we briefly mentioned this.
Reportedly, had 4 million views in its first 5 days. Fucking hell.
Nostalgia hits hard. It always does.
It does. Kind of crazy though when YouTubers do more. Not us, but YouTubers do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is wild that like certain YouTubers can hit this in a day.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and this is apparently the best TV show release or animated release in Disney Plus history. I can't remember which it is. It also is still sitting at like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
I mean,
which is
we
absurd.
talked about it earlier with the new episode, but like it's such a good show. It doesn't surprise me that it hit these numbers and that it's doing so well. Nostalgia always hits hard, especially for this sort of show, and they've hit the ground so like running and done such a good job with this kind of reboot that I don't see these numbers dropping really.
My only concern, the writer who was fired, Bo DeMeo,
yes,
has written season 1 and helped write season 2. Season 2's already been written.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to notice a massive fall off after the second season? Did he have the secret sauce? Did he have DeMeo?
It's not just one writer though, is it?
It's not, but he was the head writer, I believe.
Yeah, but I believe that projects like this are, just because he's the head writer doesn't necessarily mean he was the secret sauce. I think collectively, if like the whole writing team had been scrapped, then I'd be worried.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I think after a season and a half, the writers that are there will have got the vibe by that point and will be able to continue things.
You're right. But yeah, I mean, we're loving the show. I see no reason the show's going to all of a sudden stop being good. So this is great. And in a lovely bit of news, this is like the only bit of like British nobility I still don't, or I don't hate.
Yeah, this is the only reason I still don't mind the monarchy.
Yeah, because this is quite cool. And while I'm like, I absolutely would happily see the monarchy gone tomorrow, the notion of getting something like this would be really cool.
Yeah.
Producer Emma Thomas will receive a damehood.
Mm-hmm.
Also, her husband and directing partner Christopher Nolan will be receiving a knighthood for their work on many very successful films.
Yes, so he will become Sir Christopher Nolan. I don't know what damehood's title becomes.
Dame Emma
Is it
Thomas.
just Dame? Okay.
Yeah, it's just Dame.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, really, really fucking cool. The
I
only
mean,
other Dame I can name is Dame Kelly Holmes. The fucking goat.
Dame Judi
Olympian.
Dench.
Oh my god, Judi Dench! Do you know what? Me and Judy are on such good terms. I
okay.
Dame.
Oh, okay.
She's just Jude's to me.
Yeah, cool. Introduce us, yeah?
Dame Judi Dench. The fucking goat.
No, to be fair, that's such a like just
Smith name.
She's just so known as Dame Judi Dench that you forget that like that's her title and not just her name.
Is Maggie Smith?
I don't know.
Maggie Smith is a Dame. It is Dame Maggie Smith. Okay, cool. Do
you know what it is? It's because we say Maggie Smith is just referred to as Maggie Smith most of the time, where everyone says Dame Judi Dench. I think it just rolls off the tongue better, and she's kind of embraced it. So that's why we forget that she's like it's a title and not just her name.
Who else is a Dame that I've just not realised?
Don't know, but Christopher Nolan does this technically. There's got to be some weird stat for like he won all the awards for Oppenheimer and he's getting a knighthood all in
First
one, like,
director to win the best director in the award season and get a knighthood at the end of it.
yeah, like, surely no one else has done that.
What I'm really curious for is what is actually on, like, whenever you get one of these awards, there's a reason for it.
I imagine it's for his,
Services to film is what it's
yeah,
going down as.
I was going to say services to film and media or whatever.
Yeah. So I imagine it'll be the same for Dame Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
But really cool for them. Like,
yeah, imagine to be a couple and both get it.
And the best bit is it'll be the same service they both get it in.
Yeah. Absolute
which is
powerhouse.
even cooler. Like, I would get so unbelievably blackout drunk after that, you could not imagine. And
yeah.
you know what the best bit is? And anyone right now can double check this. If you are made a knight or dame of the realm,
Mm-hmm.
you are also allowed to knight people.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm 99% sure that's true.
Can a knighted person...
Can a knight of the realm knight someone else?
Can a knight knight another person? What a question. In medieval times, yes. I don't know if it's still true.
I'm going to say it is. So, quick pact for everyone. If me or Hori ever get a knighthood and you stop us in the street, we will knight you as well. 3 knighthoods for everyone, as long as you're subscribed.
This is a totally random fun fact, but my younger cousin, he has a lordship. He got it as a birthday present.
Pieces of
His
land
dad, he joked about it, and his dad bought him one as a Christmas present. So he is technically Lord.
Did he go to the effort of getting it all updated so his post comes addressed to Lord?
I don't know about that.
I should have done.
He's getting married in a couple of weeks, so I want to know if he'll get referred to as Lord at the ceremony. Probably not.
But yeah, so that's really cool for them. Congratulations.
Yeah, very cool.
These are 2 of the few people that I don't hate getting this award because, like, they've made a lot of good films.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of deserved, honestly.
Artists and sports people are the people I think I like getting these awards. I don't like politicians getting these awards. They should not be allowed to get these awards.
No.
But that is it from us here this week on episode 108.
Yes, it is.
We'll be back next week with a double bill of the Bad Batch, I believe.
Ooh, I think possible. I can't remember.
Episode 4 of X-Men 97.
Yes.
And the season finale of Invincible.
I'm not looking forward to that one, I'll be honest. It's gonna be painful.
It's gonna hit.